love magic when it's done well. Often it isn't. It was many years before I saw really good magic. I was already in my 30s. Up until then, I'd seen things that were cute or puzzling, and sometimes just trite or silly. I don't think I'm alone in this. When I tell people that I love magic, I'm in for an uphill struggle. I guess I have that in common with opera aficionados, philatelists, and heroin addicts. What is good magic? Magic framed properly and performed with the requisite physical and dramatic skill can create a moment of astonishment and wonder that has you weightless for a moment. Magic is a kind of lived paradox. You see with your own eyes something impossible happen right in front of you, something that couldn't happen but does. And when it is done well, there is no escape route for the mind. The state of things before the magic happens are clear. All actions that the magician performs are slow and deliberate, leaving no room for subterfuge. And yet, the laws of nature are seemingly transgressed before your very eyes. When all these conditions coincide, your brain capitulates. For me, that moment is extremely joyful. I'm trying to tell you what the experience is like, my experience, but really, you need to have it yourself to understand it. It's a bit like sex. One way to give you the experience would be to perform some magic. I did in fact record a video of me making a burning match disappear from my bare hand. I was going to include the clip here, so first I put the clip on Instagram. My friends seemed to enjoy it, but some found it funny, and humor was not really what I was going for. I think there was something about my demeanor that was amusing. I also don't think the trick was sufficiently mystifying. The method I used isn't obvious, but if there's even the slightest inkling in the minds of the audience of how the magic might be achieved, then the mystery evaporates. Amazing and wonder-inducing magic is hard to achieve. I'm not there yet. Even professional magicians can have the same difficulty. I'm reading the book Here's Real Magic by Nate Staniforth, a kind of magical autobiographical road trip. Quite a lovely book. In it, Staniforth recounts how his performances are occasionally dismissed by his audiences. Often he manages to evoke the deep experience of magic and is greeted with wide open eyes and slack jaws, but sometimes he is greeted with indifference or even hostility. It's a little weird how something that I love can lead to such a varied response. Magic is the cilantro of the entertainment arts. Some people are turned off by magic because they like to know how everything works and are provoked by the fact that someone knows but won't tell them. The magician becomes a little like the school bully. Some are frightened and then angered. Magic can frighten the old parts of our brains. Suddenly the world doesn't behave as it should. It becomes unpredictable and unsafe. But those of us who love it, what's it doing for us? What does it do for me? Magic is unexpected and surprising as it happens. It wakes me up and heightens my arousal. There's often a moment of joy in which I feel weightless and almost egoless. Having had the experience rarely exhausts its potential, however. It is something I can come back to, probe, and explore from various angles. Magic also reminds me to question my senses and the assumptions that I make about the world. It humbles me. Okay, I'll do it. I'll share the not quite so wondrous clip that I made earlier.